RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode. What it do?
Yeah, and so I mean, on Saturday afternoon, we had a good heavyweight prospect fight on paper, with Daniel Dubois and Joyce, and one thing about one thing about UK people, about UK fight, like they don't hesitate to match their prospects quick. A lot quicker than they do in America. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, this was the Virgil Ortiz, Ennis of the heavyweights for the UK.
Which is funny because the other day I seen J-Rock tweet legitimately asking why they do how come they match up their fighters so quickly in the UK and they can't do the same here. But I guess the system is a little different, and popularity and notoriety and the Commonwealth title, I guess, is a big thing over there.
J-Rock needs to answer his promoter, Al Heyman, because Al Heyman signs us on his fight. You can ask Al Heyman that question.
But wait, hold on. But you got to look at it too, though. Like, he's in a division where that doesn't even happen. Didn't him and Lubin both get title shots that everybody kind of felt like they weren't ready for?
That's also true, yeah. Yeah, he got 2 title shots. I mean,
those were undefeated type of fights where you're like, okay, both are skilled and young, undefeated. Who's going to have next?
Well, to be fair, regardless, I'll never say that somebody that worked their way up to mandatory status didn't deserve a title shot. But that's just me.
No, the reason why we say that is because the rankings for these damn belts, man, we know they be janky as hell sometimes. You can't really go off a guy working his way up to be mandatory sometimes, because sometimes they could be in a division where it's like they get a lot of career mode guys and they don't really fight a true top 10 person.
Yeah,
but they're a mandatory.
Yeah, let me example from last year with Carlos Adames and Patrick Teixeira. Teixeira is only known for getting bodied by Curtis Stevens, and he was expected just to be the jobber, and then lo and behold, this dude puts on one of his career performances, and bam, he's a legitimate world champion, and he was never mentioned as a top 10 contender, not even a top 15, at 154. So it's weird how that's how boxing,
and honestly, that happens at 154 if you really look at it. But the thing is, at 154, it's like you kind of could fight somebody who's dangerous or somebody that we could evaluate and be like, well, yeah, he deserved to be in the top 10. He deserved that mandatory. So if you don't fight somebody like that and you become mandatory, it's kind of hard to say you ready. Like J-Rock and Lubin going into their first title fights, they didn't really fight anybody that we was like, okay, this kind of prepared them for that.
Yeah, or the heavyweight version of Charles Martin. Like all of a sudden, the dude was ranked number 2, and he hadn't he hadn't fought nobody, and then he won his fight.
Remember, we seeing the same shit. We seeing the same shit with Haney right now. Haney mandatory. He has the belt, all that yada yada yada. But who the fuck that he really beat that we could say, okay, yeah, he deserved that. Like, yeah, he kind of show he's up there. Like.
Yeah, the one way I would say is like there's some people who will manage to get some name to make you stick out, and then some people who just keep grinding away and you won't know who they're fighting, but they just manage to slowly work their way up.
And you won't know until they get that fight, just like PJ said. And I think that's what kind of happened here, because Joyce and Dubois, like, they was both looking good, but it was time that, they both faced someone that could beat him.
And also with the exception of Joyce is 35 years old, so time is not on his side. Like Dubois at least has time to do whatever, So, but Joyce doesn't. Joyce is I wouldn't say on borrowed time, but he doesn't have that much time prime left in his, at 35. So he has to step. He has to move fast. So it was perfect. It happened at the time when it needed to happen. So
Yeah.
Think of like the arcade mode for Mortal Kombat. You don't know who you're gonna get next. You just get randomly thrown into it.
yeah,
But at 154, you randomly thrown into a Shark Tank.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I wasn't talking about 154. 154 is like playing online, and you accidentally end up in the bracket with the tournament players.
Oh shit! Okay, you could be my practice dummy this morning. Okay. So,
It legitimately actually works like that. If you're on at a certain hour, yeah, the killers are actually there.
there's like a 24-hour gym, like early morning is like all the serious people or late at night.
Yeah, they're either like, I just got off work, or I need to get this done before I go to work.
Word. So let me ask y'all this. So okay, I know all of us pretty much I think picked the boys.
We all picked Dubois to win.
Dubois, yeah. I be fucking that name up. My bad, y'all. How'd y'all think he looked?
He tried.
I thought he looked good, but aside from getting his face stuffed with more jabs than I had turkey, so I mean,
Damn.
I will add this a little bit though, because P mentioned the perfect thing about the jab. I'm going to say this. This is an eye test exclusive.
okay.
Regardless what happens, as much as people don't want to talk much about the jab, it is still a punch and it still hurts.
Of course.
Okay, a really good jab, even if it's a decent jab, if it's consistent, it will ruin your day.
Remember, we
Yeah,
call it
no,
stat pattern.
yeah.
Right.
Stat
If you pad your stats enough, it eventually boils over and it
Yeah,
becomes
the
a super
padding-
punch.
Yeah, it loses its padding after a while. Like,
It's like a shitty pair of Everlast gloves. You keep hitting with that same stab padding, eventually your knuckles get through.
yeah.
Like, oh shit, like knuckle padding. But see, this is the thing that gets me. Like Joyce, like his jabs and his punches look so slow. They don't look like they have any snap or any torque on them. So
He doesn't look like he has any power on his shots because he gets no
Yes.
leverage. Because he's so upright.
and for the damage this punches caused, I'm like, my goodness.
I mean, dude is a legit. I mean, that's a sign of a true heavy-handed fighter. Like, I mean, that's basically the side of Foreman. Like Foreman, Foreman, you throw the basic punches, but you see these dudes' heads snapping all the way the fuck back. It's like he has
But
that.
like the
No, but it's different.
velocity of Foreman punches, like
Yeah.
his shit look powerful. Like
Yeah, it's not the
like
same.
honestly, it looked like I'll be honest. Like I feel like Pat. Like if we train this nigga for like 2 months, like he could go in at Joyce or some shit. Like he looks like so beatable and slow. It almost seems like you're like, God damn, like why you just can't slip the jab and come over the top with something. Like it was frustrating. That's how bad he looks, but it's fucking effective. Like he wins. Like
And the thing is too is like originally, Dubois looked good. Like, I mean, he was throwing his combinations. He was wobbling Joyce a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe Joyce won't be able
oh, he buzzed him like what, 2 or 3 times. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
had him hurt like at least one good time. Like
Yeah, he did. But the thing is though, Joyce's chin was solid, but the only thing he was catching Dubois was that heavy ass jab of his. Like the right hand wasn't even landing like that. Like his dude's hands was like LB said, so damn slow. But that
dude, bro,
jab-
like I could probably count like maybe 5 right hands he landed in that fight. Like almost everything seemed like it was a jab. Like I was thinking about this, like man, like even about like one of my like people I used to train, like he was hitting me up like, man, like Golovkin spoil us, man. Like what kind of fucking jab? I can't believe this shitty jab is winning this fight.
Yeah, and it's
The only thing I could suggest interjecting with is I suspect just the way he was throwing it, I call it a deadweight jab because for everybody who remembers, like when you spar when you're tired, your punches become heavy because you're not trying to do the snap. It just becomes deadweight right at the end. That's the only thing I could imagine is what he was doing. Because the way he was throwing it, and like you guys were saying, it seemed lazy. He dead weighted it. So when you deal with something that's dead weight, it's just heavy as hell.
Yeah, because it stays out there. But my bad. Well, Pat, what you was about to say?
What was I gonna say? Shit, I was I forgot. Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, it's pretty much like I was telling you, like the Jordan, like it reminded me of like an Ike Cortez type of performance where he's just busting the nigga up with just his jab alone. You know, it's just like,
yeah, it was just weird because I seen comments, like I seen a comment that's like, I don't think I've ever, the person said, I don't ever think I've seen somebody win a fight just by throwing a jab. I'm like, I think I've seen plenty of fights like that where people win by just throwing a jab. It's been a while.
yeah, no,
Damn, he didn't watch the Canelo Golovkin fights.
Well, I mean,
Or Corte,
well, I was gonna say, but then
or Larry Holmes.
But unfortunately, he's a fellow Rican, so I didn't want to get him mad. I was gonna say, I was gonna say Winky Tito, but I'm like, you know what? I'm a chill. I don't want to get him mad.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Winky Tito was like the perfect example. That was pure jabbing.
Jabbed.
It was a great fight.
500 jab.
yeah.
Yeah, so you know, I always go back. I always think about Ipo when someone really kicks somebody ass with a jab, and what they said, you rule the left hand, you rule the world.
Yeah.
He who uses the left hand rules the world.
Yeah,
But the funny thing is too,
and
like,
it's right though.
yeah, but the funny thing is Dubois, like you expect him to adjust to it. Like this nigga has enough fights where you could adjust to the jab. He just kept on getting hit with it, like no slipping. No blocking.
Oh, that fight you didn't even need an adjustment. If you train to move your head, you win that fight. There was
Honestly,
nothing Joyce did that was just on some like, oh my god.
I'm like, did he not?
What are you gonna do? Like, we got a game plan, bruh. You slip the fucking jab, throw the overhand hook, throw overhand right, hook to the body. Like, it seemed like Dubois, like he put his punches together. Like, I had him winning the fight.
Yeah, he was winning the fight.
he was.
Yeah, just on activity alone
But
because
he got beat by one fucking punch that doesn't even look devastating.
Oh yeah,
All that damage.
Maybe he
I
didn't
like to hop in for. Actually, no. Pete, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was almost like he was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat this because I don't respect it." But then again, like that's still not the case to fucking eat that.
Yeah, who wants
Actually,
to eat a
here's the best
jab
thing.
for no reason?
No, here's the thing though, because P actually said it at the perfect time. Because I say it's an experience from working with people. Like when people are good at throwing combinations, they don't think about what they do at the end of it.
yeah,
So the biggest thing is like, even if the person doesn't have the best jab in the world, if your head is still there, they're still gonna hit you.
Yeah, it's still there. So it was just like, oh well. But then it's like, oh well, this jab is lazy. I'm not gonna respect it, but it still lands. So you still gotta account for it.
Exactly. A jab is still a punch, and for heavyweights, a big boy is still a big boy.
yeah, of course.
It's going to
It was
hurt.
affecting his eye early in the fight. By like the second round,
Yeah.
he should have knew like, okay, like I gotta take this more serious. Like,
I
even by
bet
the third
you-
round.
Yeah.
I bet you his corner told him, he just didn't listen.
I was gonna say it also didn't help that the corner was like, him and the corner were not in sync, like at all.
No, because I mean Dubois, like all he did was just he tried to just throw combinations. Just he tried to load up every shot. You know,
I mean, it was working, but the thing is, it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, the saying, the fight is won in the gym.
yeah,
The fight was won with the fucking basics on this one.
You win him in the gym, you lose him in the gym.
Look,
Yeah.
Joyce won the fight on basics. Dubois lost the fight on basics. That's simple as that, bro. Look,
absolutely.
if he learns how to slip a fucking jab, Dubois wins the fight. Like,
Right.
It's back in the arcade games where you play arcade games, like way back when you're younger. You're like, yo, I know all these combos. You go to the arcade machine, and this guy doesn't know any combos, but he just beats you with 1 or 2 buttons, and you don't know why.
and you know what? It's timing. He knows. Okay, you're about to load up, do a fireball, boom, jab, a short kick, sweep, some simple basic shit. He just timing you with simple shit, and that's all it was. And the thing is, Dubois punches had an effect on Joyce, but he could never put 2 or 3 real good ones together at one time. Like one to land good, other one is like half good, partial.
Right, and then when his eyes started to close, like basically, because when his eyes started to close, he started getting hit a lot more with those, in the occasional right hand. Like if one thing's like Joyce's right hand is so slow, but when you see it on instant replay, like this, the whole like you can see like his fucking all the sweat goes off this nigga's head, like boom, like I mean like. And then like Joyce hits incredibly hard and it's incredibly heavy-handed.
It don't even look it, bro. But the thing is, I don't care if a person looks like he hit like Prime Tyson. I don't care if he look like he hit like Milanaji. Like you shouldn't try to get hit with it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And I get what King P saying with the whole like Dubois. Just it almost feel like he didn't respect that fucking punch. Or he don't respect any jab. I don't know. Make me just wonder. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm becoming jaded. I've seen too much boxing.
I mean, we've seen now. I feel like people now are putting more emphasis on the difference between a jab and then because we've heard fighters. It's got to the point where we've even heard fighters like that Raleigh Romero. Oh well, I didn't lose the fight. All he did was jab. I threw power punches. It's almost like they're trying to make the jab seem less meaningful.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he just jabbed. I throw power punches. That matters more. My punches mean more than your
punches. The thing is, like, your power punches have to fucking win the round. Like, I can understand if Dubois feeling that way, or that was his game plan because it was winning. But the thing is, he was still accumulating damage, and even though it was a little damage, it just kept building, then spun out of control. He loses the fight.
And dead by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. It was the 49th, the 499th cut. the fucking meter broke, and it's like, niggas is jumping out of the damn the Mecha Voltron suit. Niggas is like, quit, and what happened? Because honestly, like, I mean, we could talk about it, like. He low-key kind of quit.
There's no low-key about it. It was high-key as ever. He quit.
Yeah.
Okay, yo. So it's no low-key. He said, fuck it, yo. This jab is serious.
Just look back and just take a knee. Literally, he thought about it. Like, you know what? I can't take any more of this. My eye's done. I quit.
Yeah, he basically said, I don't want to look like Fetty Wap. I'm done.
Yeah, he literally pulled a Kelbro. He pulled a Kelbro.
Yeah, and it was in a way it was kind of anticlimactic. I mean, even the final jab they hit, like the jab, I mean, really, it hit like he got hit like a hook or a cross or some shit like that. The way he reacted to that shit, but yeah, his eye blew up though after that final jab.
Yeah, because the way they clashed in, because they both stepped in the same time. The way that Joyce's jab came in, it slid. It didn't just land; it slid. So it just made the eye thing worse.
Yeah.
Juggernaut punch.
So I mean, it's cool though. I mean, because I know before in the pre-fight stuff, Dubois was make fun of Joyce's mom, who's legally blind, saying and of course like his mom after that was like, well, I didn't see that that I didn't see that ass whooping that you got or some shit like that.
Yeah, his mom had some heat, and even then she was like, I hope you get well. Like she didn't even have no damn
malice or anything.
Malice about it. It was just on some
bless his heart.
You learned a lesson now.
Yeah, no, but Dubois though, I think his career might be in jeopardy because now it came out he has a fractured orbital nerve damage. The nerve damage is the possible career ender because you don't want a droopy eyelid like David Reed. Because once you get droopy eyelid, I mean, the shit's a wrap.
Right, yo, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Look, yo, you can't play boxing, and you can't play with your nerves. Like,
yeah,
like I'm feeling that shit now with nerves, and that nerve shit is like serious shit. So.
Because nerves don't really regenerate, and some nerves don't regenerate at all.
Certain cuts, certain shit don't heal like you think it's gonna heal, and the signals it's supposed to transmit don't transmit like the way it's supposed to transmit. Like I'm telling you, like you take it for granted because if everything's working optimum like normal, you're like, But one little cut, one nerve get damaged, whatever, and you feeling pain you ain't never felt in your life.
Yeah, because like I remember too, one of the trainers at my old gym, like basically he got retired because he had nerve damage in his eye. So like he couldn't get licensed to fight. I forgot what the affliction was, but he had like a half dead eye. He could see out of it, but it was something like it wasn't like he wasn't able to turn your eye a certain way, like to a certain point. Like it had like messed up peripheral or something like that. So it's like
it's a variation of a lazy eye.
Yeah. It's very serious. And Dubois, hopefully it, he does heal and he does come back. Hopefully that the nerve damage isn't lasting and he can actually heal completely from it.
And hopefully he could hone his skills in the gym. And I cannot stress this enough. Get that defense on point, man. Like, y'all don't understand, man. Defense saved lives. It didn't look like he took a beating, but he took his eye took a one-handed beating, man.
Yeah.
You could say he landed the better punches in the fight, but at the end of the day, look at the result.
Yeah, one jab put him down. Joyce absorbed shit and stayed upright. He took a jab and went down to a knee and didn't get up.
He wins the fight if he could slip his head. And let's be honest, this wasn't no prime Oscar De La Hoya jab. This wasn't fucking Larry Holmes on the other side of the ring. This wasn't no Golovkin jab. Like this was just a fucking jab. And it's like, you let that shit do that to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I get that Canelo for, I thought he lost to Golovkin just because of a jab. But then, Canelo still made the fight, well, at least the second one, competitive and everything.
Exactly.
Like, God damn, like, bruh, like, you can't. And that's the thing, is like, at least Canelo getting hit with like a great jab. Like, the jab Dubois getting hit with was like,
it was basic as get.
Basic as fuck. No nothing on it. No special effects.
No frills jab.
Yeah, like it was like a y'all remember that episode of Everybody Loves Chris, and they went into the cupboard and, yo mama, I want cookie. Like, yes, it'll ruin your appetite, and then motherfuckers got like, they open that shit and that shit say cookie. It ain't got no brand.
It just says jab.
It says jab. Like, that's what that nigga had. He had just jab. Like, shit was just cookie. That shit said cereal. Just no flakes, no cereal.
It was, I can't believe it's not jab.
Exactly. Jab with like 9 A's in it.
It was a jab.
It was a jab from wish.com.
I can't believe it's not jab.
It took like half a year for it to show up, but it still hit you.
Oh man, so I think Joyce, he could move on to some bigger things. I know we talked about that Usyk run back, and it seemed like he kind of want that too. So hey,
hell yeah, and
why not?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just said why not. I don't know where that echo came from.
Yeah, I don't know who was. I thought that was is that King Pete?
Nah.
No, shit, I'm just a ghost. But no, I know, because he wants Usyk. I'm like, okay, Usyk. If Usyk doesn't get the title shot, although we have to wait though, because Dubois was number 2 for the WBO, so he's gonna lose that ranking.
Yeah, we'll insert Joyce in that spot. So
yeah. So obviously, if Usyk somehow doesn't get the title shot after Joshua Pulev, then we'll see what happens. If Joshua gets stripped of the WBO belt, then it'll be Usyk versus whoever's number 2. And float up Joyce. Then, like I said, Joyce is 35. Time is not like let him try to get that get back.
Yeah. I think that makes for a good fight. It'll be better than the first one. I think Joyce might, instead of get outlanded 4-1, it might be 3-2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But it will be interesting to see because obviously, the fight that we were referencing obviously is the World Series of Boxing, where they were both a lot leaner. Joyce especially was a lot leaner in those days, and Usyk pretty much did handle him like
he's more juggernaut now, but back then he was Colossus.
Yeah,
like, he had to get his weight up now. So.
Let me just add this real quick because Pat mentioned the World Series of Boxing. If you're listening to this, you better watch it because it's a great entertainment.
Yeah, World Series of Boxing, it definitely. You definitely get exposure to some fighters. You get a little background, and sometimes you be able to like they're undefeated, but they did have like this particular loss or something, or win in there. So it's interesting when you actually go back at it because truthfully, it should be pro. This should be like actual pro records, but
Yeah, World Series of Boxing gives you a general idea, if they haven't like already hit their debut, an idea of how they're gonna go pro.
Exactly. So it's definitely interesting to see some of the fights of some of the prospects down the divisions and go back into those days, but I welcome Usyk Joyce, and if it's for the belt, so be it. If Joshua doesn't want to fight Usyk, if he wins, obviously after that. So
yeah. Let me get Fury, Joshua, and Usyk Joyce too, and I'll be good. Maybe Wilder, Ruiz.
Yeah. This 2021 is the year that the heavyweights now need to get some clarity. Like heavyweight division needs to clean itself up, needs to clear out some fighters that shouldn't be there anymore.
We need to have the year 2019 was supposed to be.
Exactly. So like I said, kudos to Joyce though. He represented. Dubois, hoping that he's gonna be out for a while. There's no question about that. But hopefully, like I say, he does recover. He does fight. He does get back in the ring soon. And like Elby says, defense. Defense will extend your career and extend some body parts too. Extend the life of your body parts. So you gotta, get that together.
Hell yeah,
that's true.